Chances are, if you clicked this video, you're interested in how to make more money in your business, preferably by making adjustments to your everyday habits. It's like money on autopilot. I love that for you. I love that for me too. But if you've ever looked online for habits of successful women or men, you probably saw stuff like make your bed or meditate. And while those are great habits, they're not money-making habits. They're not the things that are gonna actually make you financially successful. You can do them all day long, but they're never gonna make more money appear in your bank account. Now, if you don't already know me, I'm a belief breakthrough coach, which means I talk a lot about self-care and mindset, including money mindset. But I'm also known for practical, actionable advice, especially when it comes to money or to business, because being financially successful requires more than just feeling good about money or thinking positive thoughts about money. There are a lot of people out there that feel good about money or that think positive thoughts or that use all the affirmations and they're still broke because they don't have the skills, they don't know the habits to help them make more of it. Hit that like button if you know what I'm talking about here. The only way to wind up with more money in your bank account is by doing two things: making more money and spending less of it. Yes, you need a healthy money mindset. Don't get me wrong. You have to have a healthy money mindset to do those two things. But you also need the practical know-how. You need to be taking the right, consistent actions. So let's go through the real 7 highly effective money habits of successful women. And yes, these apply to the guys too. I'm actually gonna do something different in this video and take you over to my whiteboard to walk you through them. Note to self, buy a black dry erase marker. Hopefully you can read this. I know it's not perfect. We're gonna make the best of it. So the very first habit that you need to master if you wanna know how to make more money is knowing your numbers. So when I'm talking about knowing your numbers, I'm talking about a few different things, and I'm gonna break this down into a weekly habit, a monthly habit, and an annual habit. With your weekly habit, the numbers that you need to know and track and pay close attention to is your budget. And this means both your personal budget as well as your business budget. Now, I just did a video last month all about how to set up a business budget, how to be able to save more money in an emergency fund for your business. If you're brand new to this idea, watch that video and it will show you how to get started from scratch. You need to know your budget numbers so that you know what's coming in and what's going out. Because remember, the only way that we can make more money is to either make more of it or spend less of it. And this is going to help you do both. Especially it's going to help you spend less because you're going to notice your spending habits, but it's going to help you to also spend more because you're going to start to see patterns in your income, patterns in what's bringing in the most money, what's not bringing in the most money, which is going to help you figure out where you need to focus. I'm going to skip over the monthly habits and come back to this one. Your annual habit is going to be things like your retirement numbers. You write down retirement. This means sitting down with somebody like your financial planner and looking at, are you on track with your big picture financial goals? This doesn't need to happen necessarily on a monthly basis, especially when you're getting started, but have a target, have something set up every year so that you know what you're aiming towards. Whether this is just figuring out how you're gonna invest in your retirement funds, or if it's figuring out what to do with the extra money that you have over what you can invest in those funds. Now, your monthly one is possibly the most important, especially if you're in a business, and that is tracking your conversion numbers. So by conversion numbers, what I mean are the numbers in your business that show you whether or not your business is on an upward trajectory or a downward trajectory. So this means knowing things like your sign-up rates, the sales page conversions, the open rates on your emails, how well your call to actions are working, are your click-through rates where you want them to be, what are your conversion rates on your sales calls, What are the numbers on your advertisements? So what you need to do on a monthly basis is have a task set up for yourself with your conversion rates for your business, knowing where they are month by month, tracking where they are so that you can see what's happening, what's working, maybe what's not working, and so that you can slowly adjust things based on what needs to be adjusted first. Okay, so how do you figure out which conversion numbers in your business you need to track? The way that you do this is to follow your client or customer pathway. How do they first find out about you? What's the next thing they do, and the next thing they do, and the next thing they do, all the way until they purchase something from you. So let's say, for instance, that you are in an online business. How are people first finding you? And when they're signing up for your freebie, what's your sign up rate? When they're opening that first email, how many people, what's the percentage of people opening that email? How many people are clicking on that email? How many people are going to the sales page from that email? How many people are purchasing from that sales page? When you know these numbers, you're going to find out what's working, and then you're going to find out where things dip off. So if you're seeing your numbers where you want them to be, but then you see one of those stats dropping, you now know that that's where you need to focus on, right? The same applies if you're in direct sales. How many calls are you making? How many appointments do you book from those calls? How many sales are you making from those calls? What's the amount of the sales from those calls? How many referrals are you getting from that person? And how many future orders is that person making? Again, you're looking at all of these things to figure out what number is dropping off. Where is my success rate falling? Because when you can target that success rate, then you know how to increase those sales, increase your overall success, increase your finances, make more money, right? This is habit number 1, because if you don't know your numbers, how can you make more of them? You won't know where the problem lies in order for you to fix it. Again, how can you make more money if you're not tracking these things? If you don't know where your money's coming in, where it's going out, or where in the process you might be leaving money on the table, or things might not be converting the way you want to. This is habit number 1. Weekly, monthly, annually, you need to know these numbers. Okay, so habit number 2 is to pay your future self first. Pay your future self first. You've probably heard the saying, pay yourself first. I like to say pay your future self first because it really helps you to remember what it is you're really doing. You're not just paying yourself so that you have money to spend right now. You're paying your future self, the self in 5 years that's going to thank you for setting that money aside, the self in 20 years or 40 years who's going to thank you because now they have more financial options. Paying yourself first means taking money before you do anything else with it. And I'm talking every single time you get paid, taking a percentage of that, whatever percentage you can, even if it's only like 2% right now. Start with where you can, take that and set it aside. Set it aside first into an emergency fund, and then start setting it aside into your long-term savings, paying your future self first. If you get into this habit now, trust me, your future self is going to be so pleased with you. And if you're only taking a small percentage, you're not going to feel the hit. But if you can slowly start increasing that percentage just a little bit at a time, every $100, every $1,000, every $10,000 you make, you're taking 1, 2, 5, 10% of it and just putting it aside, out of sight, out of mind, so that it's there later when you need it. Trust me, this is how you make more money. Okay, so this is habit number 1. This is habit number 2. Must do these things first. Habit number 3 is something that you need to do on a daily and a weekly basis. And this is schedule your IPAs first. No, I'm not talking about beer. I'm talking about your income producing activities. What are the things in your business that directly make you money? Most people will spend most time on things that support their IPAs, but not enough time on their actual IPAs. So what is it for yourself? Is it sales calls? Is it appointments? Is it sales emails? You need to know this for yourself. What are your IPAs? Once you know them, you need to schedule them to happen first. Now, this doesn't mean they have to happen first in the day or first in the week. It just means when you're making your schedule, you first make sure that you've made enough time for your IPAs. Now, how much time do your IPAs need? That depends on where you're at in your business and what kind of support that you have. If you're further along in your business, you may have somebody helping you with IPAs, right? But in the beginning in your business, at least 50% of your time needs to be going into making this happen, making more time for your IPAs, scheduling this first. And I do actually like to schedule my IPAs first in my day when my mind is freshest so that I make sure that I'm getting them done because they're the most important part of your business. You can do all the things that support a business, but if that business isn't making money, you're not going to have a business for long. So habit number 3, schedule your IPAs, make it happen. Super, super important. Okay, I've reset the whiteboard with the last 4 habits to help you make more money. These are the money habits of successful women. And number 4 is to diversify your income streams. Diversify your income streams. Now, I mean a couple different things by this. Yes, you want to diversify your income streams within your business, but you also want to diversify them outside of your business. Successful women, as they start making money in their business, they don't tend to just keep it in their business. They start investing in things outside of it. Maybe this is real estate, maybe this is investments like stock market type things. Maybe this is investing in other people's businesses, which is really just what you're doing when you're investing in stocks or bonds. You're investing in other people's success. What I want you to remember when you're doing this, though, is not to spread yourself too thin. And this especially applies when you are diversifying income streams within your own business. Number 1, when you're doing this, it's really important that you are only diversifying an income stream when one of them is successful. So stick with one until it's successful before you add in another. What most people do is they launch one thing and then they hurry up and they launch another and another, and then they're overwhelmed with trying to promote and get all of these things working together or actually making money. So most important is to really hone in on one first, master one, and then start adding in the next, and then start adding in the next. How many you have is really up to you. You obviously want some that are going to give you a passive income or residual income. Basically, you set it up and you really don't have to do much more with it, but you really get to decide for yourself what that looks like based on your business. But again, I want to remind you that when you do it inside your business, you also need to do it outside your business. You don't need to put all your eggs in one basket, even if that basket is yours. You want to make sure that you have income coming in, that you have financial means in many different places. So this is habit number 4 of successful women, diversifying your income stream inside your business when you can do it, when you're not spreading yourself too thin, and then outside your business so that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Habit number 5 is actually personal as well as professional. And this is to ask 2 questions before you buy. So oftentimes what we do is we go and buy things because now we have money to buy things. You're making money in your business and it's really easy to fall into the habit of spending that money. Remember what he said, there's only 2 ways to make more money. Make more money and spend less of it. This becomes really important when you're suddenly making more money and you're forgetting that what's coming in is just as quickly going out. Or sometimes it goes out a little bit faster because now you're flush. Maybe for the first time in your life, you don't have to worry about that number in your bank account when you go to buy something, so you just keep buying things. So this is a personal habit in the fact that you don't want to just buy stuff, right? You don't want your lifestyle to increase with your finances past the point where you're comfortable. You want your finances to be growing always bigger than your lifestyle. And to do that, you're going to ask 2 questions. Number 1 is, do I love it? And number 2 is, do I need it? And when I say need it, what I'm really talking about here is it really solving a real problem for you, or is it just a nice to have? You want to move away from the nice to haves, because the less money you spend, the more money you can invest in other things to diversify those income streams, right? So 2 questions to ask before you buy. Do I love it? Do I need it? This does not only apply to your personal finances though, this applies to your business finances as well. So many times we start investing in things in our business usually because we love it. We love that new fancy website, or we love to take all these courses. We love to learn new things. We love the idea of being able to invest in our business. But do we actually need it? Is it actually solving a problem? Is it the absolute best way to do it? One of the best things you can do in your business is to stay small and scrappy, even at the risk of things looking a little crappy, because this ensures that your inflation of your business lifestyle is not going past what you want to be actually investing in your business. Your financial investment into your business, like what you spend on your business every month, should not exceed about 30, maybe 40% of your overall business income, which means if you're making $100, it should only take you $30 or $40 to be able to make that $100. So that means any of your overhead, any of your advertising, marketing, anything like that should not exceed that, unless you know that it's a short-term investment and you're going to get a return on it very quickly. Really ask yourself this: do I need that extra course? Is this really going to solve a problem for me? Am I absolutely sure that it's going to solve a problem for me? Am I sure that this is the right thing for me? Have I done my homework? Have I done my research to make sure that this thing I'm investing in my business is actually going to bring me a return, and a fast return? Usually you should see a return on stuff ideally within 90 days. So this kind of ties into number 6. Number 6 is quality over all else. Wow. It's really hard to write right-handed like this and still face the camera and the mic, so be patient with me. Quality over all else. Highly successful women invest in quality. They don't go cheap. They do not go for quantity. They always make sure they tend to have less, but it's high quality stuff. And yes, I'm talking about things like a nice pair of shoes or a nice outfit that you maybe spent more on, but it's gonna last you a long time, or staple pieces that you're gonna be able to mix and match and use with everything. That absolutely applies, but it also applies to the business side of it. Are you investing in cheap ways to grow your business? Or when it's time to invest, maybe you've saved up money because you've been using that budget, you've got money saved up, and it's time to invest in a website. Are you trying to find the cheapest person to build that website, or are you trying to find the best person to build that website? Best doesn't always mean most expensive, right? We need to make sure that we understand the difference between quality and high price. But this is so important in your business that you are not shoestringing it forever. Yes, you need to stay small and scrappy for as long as possible, but when it's time to invest, you invest wisely. You invest in something that's high quality, that's going to get you that return as quickly as possible. So this brings us to number 7. This is one of the most important things as you're starting to make money, and that is to buy back your time. Let me write this down. My handwriting just gets worse and worse as I get lower down the board, doesn't it? If you're going to be investing in things you need, you're going to be investing in quality things, what do you need to be investing in first? You need to invest in things that are going to buy your time back, because we all only have 168 hours in a week. Everybody has the same number of hours, but highly successful people that are making lots of money, they're investing in things that are buying them back more time, and usually more money in less time. So what are those things? When you start having money in your business, you want to buy back more time to be able to make more money. Where do you start? The very first thing that I want you to start with is actually systems. So you're going to invest in systems that are going to save you more time, right? You're buying back time by investing in a system, a program, something that's going to automate what you're doing now to be able to free up hours. And you can decide for yourself, based on the cost of that system and how many hours it's going to free up, how you'll be able to use those hours to invest back into your IPAs, your income producing activities that we talked about. What was that? I think that was number 3 that we talked about, income producing activities. First, invest in systems that will make more time for you to put your time into income producing activities. The next thing that you want to do is invest in admin. Someone to come in and take off the little things that need to get done, but this just drain your time. So this might be invoicing, this might be emails, this might be social media, anything that you can do to get the little things off your plate that are helpful. Sometimes they're necessary, let's be honest, sometimes they're not necessary. But if you can hire somebody to come in, even just for a few hours a week, to create something, and again, if they can create systems, if they can create templates, if they can create something that will save more time in the future, that's where you want to be investing second. Invest in your systems first, invest in admin or people to come in and create more systems and strategies for you second. The third thing that you want to invest in, I'm using the word strategy for a lack of a better word. You want to be investing in somebody or something that can come in and blow things up for you, right? Let's say you've got something that's working, but maybe you're not exactly sure how to scale it. Bring in an expert, somebody who knows their stuff. Make sure they're high quality. Make sure you're ready for it, right? Not just that you love it or you need it, but that you're also ready for it. And make sure they know what they're doing in your particular industry to be able to help you scale that business. Also, if you're stuck, if something's not working, if you're not able to get something converting, invest in somebody who can come in and pinpoint what's happening for you. Pinpoint exactly what needs to be fixed in all of those conversion numbers, right? And again, if you've been tracking your conversion numbers and you can hand that over to a strategist and say, here's what's been happening over the last 6 months. Here are my numbers for all these important metrics in my business. They're going to be able to come in, fix a few things, and blow you up. So you need to make sure that you've been doing all of these steps in this order so that you can start making more money. Now, if you're a female entrepreneur who knows you need to get both your head and your habits straightened out so you can make more money in your business, but you're overwhelmed with where to start, right? You've got all these things happening in your business and your life that you need to consider. And you also don't know how to make things stick once you do start. Let's chat about one-on-one coaching. By coaching one-on-one with me, you get my 20 years experience as a female entrepreneur and my 10 years experience as a belief breakthrough coach, all to help you figure out your bottlenecks and teach you how to overcome them in a way that works for you, meaning it's going to match your lifestyle, it's going to match your needs, your learning style, your personality, your unique challenges, and your unique opportunities. I'll teach you how to gain real confidence, how to up-level your mindset and your efforts, these or other ones, and how to make more money so you can make more of a difference. You can learn more about what working with me looks like at the link in the description below. You'll also be able to fill out an application. You'll be able to schedule a free decision call. And from there, we'll be able to know whether or not we're the right fit for your goals. Don't forget to also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you found this video helpful or inspiring, and leave a comment with your favorite money habit, hopefully to inspire other people watching. Thanks so much for being here. I will see you in the next one. Okay, through the power of magic, I've made a new whiteboard. Oh, let me do that again. That was stupid.